Okay, take two. I'm just on YouTube now, not Facebook. I'm wondering if because I'm trying to do two different locations, that's messing me up. That's what I'm going to go with. So we're just going to be on YouTube, and Facebook can catch it on the replay. So if you are back with me, let me know. I so apologize about this. I don't know what's going on. Things happen, and maybe it's my internet connection, which I doubt, but it could be. Um, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go back to where we left off, and um, hey, hi Gloria. Well, I was on and did a lot of talking, but now we're we got froze and now we're back. So we're gonna try to do this again. I'm a little discombobulated. It's so frustrating that when you want to create and the technology just gives you grief. Anyway, so we had this paper and we took hi Shannon, um, and I just took my little paintbrush and some water, tore around the edges. So that's what happened, and then I froze. I don't know how long I was frozen before I noticed, but anyway, I'm back. So the plan is I'm going to Cheryl. Yes, I don't know what happened. I just totally just got off Facebook. I have to think that it has to do with Facebook. That's what I'm going with. So hopefully I won't freeze here on YouTube. So and then I was going to make my own fireplace. You see this fireplace is here, but I want to use the Snip Art, the stone stencil, and I'm going to create my own fireplace using the stone effect paste. This stuff is really fun. It's awesome. And here's a little thing that I did when I was up in Georgia with Decoupage Queen, because that's where I get all this stuff from. Teresa, she's awesome. And I did this stencil, but Michaela, my partner in crime, she did this. And it came out so cool with the brick. And then she added some moss. It was gorgeous. But we're going to create a fireplace. But I need to decoupage this paper on first. Now, the paper doesn't cover the whole entire paper or my background, this little tag here. So what I'll do is I'll blend the paint. But first I want to get the little girl and the puppy off here because I'm going to put them in front of the fireplace, I think. I don't want the fireplace to go over them. So I need to be able to move her actually over a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take her off too. And the puppy. So we're just going to use the water and just go around so I can tear it off. Again, the water makes it super easy to tear. You can tear without the water, but there we go. So now I have two pieces here. And we're going to start and decoupage this on. So I'm just using the matte. I like the matte one. You can use whatever kind of decoupage medium you want. I just happen to like the Pint Art. And I'm applying the medium right to the back of the paper because it's such an odd shape. I want to make sure that I have the medium on everything. When I lay it down, it's going to stick and it's going to stay. All right, now I'm just going to decide where it's going to go. And I prefer the rice paper over napkins and paper just because it lays down so nice without any wrinkles. Okay, now I'm just going to go back and just put the edge. I'm not going to cover all of it yet because I might want to do some painting. I definitely will go back and seal it though. Oops. Let's slow down. I'm going to tuck that under. There we go. So we have our beautiful Christmas tree now. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you can see up close what I'm working on. Move this over. There we go. Especially when we get to the stencil part, I want you to be able to see that. And then eventually, after I get the fireplace on, I'm going to just put the puppy and the little girl right back in front here. So, but before we do that, we're going to probably need to blend the edges a little bit That way I can lay my stencil, because it's going to be brick and it's going to be right on top of the background. I wish the paper was just a little bit bigger so it would cover more, but that's okay. We can figure this out. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to get the background kind of laid down so I can get the stenciled fireplace on there. And I can always do more of the background and fix it if I want to. So definitely I'm going to use some of this. This one is the Antique Gold by Pentart. And then I have just a little off-white, just for some sparkles or to mix in. And then I've got, this one is Brass. Don't know how much I'll use of that one, but I see these colors in here. So that is why I have them out. Okay, so let's have some fun and blend. Nothing like trying to blend live on camera, right? Let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, the edge is wet from the decoupage medium, but that's okay. It's all water-based, so it works together fine. And a trick about when you're blending, not just paying attention to the edge, but you want to bring it in a little bit so you can't see that line. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. There we go. And I always seem to get a better blend when I stipple as opposed to just painting. So I'm going to do the whole thing in this first, and then I'm going to go back and add some different colors in. If I'm still alive on YouTube, will somebody just say yes or something, just so I know? I'm still moving here on the camera, so far so good, but I just want to make sure that you guys can still see me. If for some reason you can't, I will definitely just upload the video because it always saves to my phone. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? And when you stipple it, it kind of gives it a deep effect. And you could still right now see the line, but that'll be fixed. I'm just wanting to lay down the background. I just love this color. There are, in the Pentart metallic line, there are like 4 different golds. Antique gold, dark gold, gold. Oh, thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, Shannon, the stencil is awesome. They do have, you can find these stencils anywhere, but this one I like because it's not just straight lines. It's meant to look like bricks, and bricks are imperfect, so it works. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm alive. I'm live. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about right over here because I'm going to be doing the fireplace there. Just going to finish going here. Yay, welcome back, Lisa. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. Happened last week too. I think it's when I try to go to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So YouTube has been more user-friendly, so that's why I'm back here. Seems to me like Facebook is constantly changing everything. There is updating, and which causes glitches, and yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I think this is the brass, and I want to offload it just a bit. Where's my rag? Let me just grab a rag. So sometimes you want to offload because when you put too much paint on your brush and you're trying to blend, it doesn't always go well. So, oops, come on. I like to have a rag so I can just offload some paint. See, there we go. And of course, right now it's very shiny. It'll dry a little bit different. You'll see that though in my final pictures. And I love when you stipple like this, it kind of gives a nice texture. So it adds shadows and definitely adds some character to it. Okay. A little bit more down south. And for this time, I grabbed it. This is a stencil brush. I don't know why I grabbed it, but It works good. Right now, this is very metallic-y. And if I think it's too shiny, I'll just go back with some normal non-metallic paint and blend some of that in. There you go. Ooh, oh, looks, see that it's giving off that glow. Do you have it in your store? I do. I have the stencil in the store. I think I only have one more in stock, but just ask Teresa. I order from her like every other day, so definitely will be ordering more of these. Yes, Cheryl, just like candlelight. I love it. And they're on the paper, you can't really see it, but there are some lights that come off of here, which are creating the glow. I do have plenty of these papers in stock too. I don't have them on my website, but I will get them on there eventually. But you can always email me, and then I can just get it packed up and I can send you the little a little invoice. We can always do it that way. Okay, so far we're gonna leave it like that for just right now because I really want to get the little girl on, and I want to start the the stone fireplace because I want you guys to see how cool this effect is. Yes, stop by. Also keep in mind, Gloria, if you order with us and you can't pick it up during shop hours, I have that box outside. I just email you the code. You can stop by any day, anytime, and pick it up in your order. Okay, so let's decide. Let's put the little girl back right about probably there. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and figure out how I'm going to do the fireplace. So what I'm thinking is I want it to be square across, but I want the fireplace to go all the way up. But I also want to leave a section here I want to have a fire because when I was just up with my girls up in Atlanta, I was working on this witch's cauldron, and the fire that was coming out of it was on fire. It was really cool. So I want to replicate that. But before I do, we need to think about a fireplace. So obviously, I don't want the stone paste to come here. I want to block that off because I'm going to build the fire. Yeah, you definitely get in trouble when you come in for sure. Take that. And you know what? I'm just going to, real quick, I know I close it down, but I'm going to have this. I might as well finish this off because I don't know exactly where I'm going to leave the opening for my fireplace yet. So I just want to go ahead and have at least it can tie into the background, even though I know I'll change it. I'd rather have it this color than the white in the background because the white looks unprofessional. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to become a one-stop shop. I have a little bit of everything. Like I carry 3 brands of chalk paints, and I've got, all in one. I've got everything. But mainly because I like it all. So I can share with you all. Okay. So now the tricky part is, so I want to have this come out. Then up here, I'm going to have it where it goes in. Because, like the fireplace ledge. So we can build that in too later. But we're going to just start with just the fireplace. So do I want to I'm going to have it come all the way down the, let's see, my camera keeps moving. I want to, no, that's a lot. If you come in more often, then you can spend less each time you come. I'm going to put that on the screen because is that going to work? Yeah. So instead of coming just once in a while, come all the time, then you just spend less. You can do 25, 25, 25. Okay. So I'm going to block off with just some painter's tape a square where the fireplace opening is going to be. Because I want to be able to have logs and I want to have a fire going. Paint's still a little bit wet, so it's not really sticking that well, which it's okay. I just want to make sure I have more of a barrier than anything. Oops. I got to do another one because that one's crooked. I'm going to angle this. let's see. There we go. So that'll be the opening of the fireplace. So when I put the stone here on my stencil, it'll automatically create the opening for the fireplace. Now, what I'm going to do is like we did here when we were playing with this up with Teresa. See the ombre? I'm not going to do an ombre, but I'm going to definitely mix some of the different colors because when you have bricks, they're not always the same color. So this one I'm going to be using, it's brown. I think there's like 6 different colors, but I'm only going to use 3. There's a green, there's a white, there's a gray. Any color that has to do with a stone. I think the green is more for like the moss. Okay, this is terracotta. And then I'm going to be using, this is a clay. Oops, you can't see that. Why does my camera keep moving? I'm just going to adjust real quick. Hopefully it doesn't shut off. Oy. Okay. Yeah, Gloria, you and me both. I buy everything. Every time I see something new on the website where I can order, I order it for the shop. All right, let me put these aside. So I'm going to be using these 3 colors here. And all I'm going to do is just simply run it through my stencil. I'm going to be using, I've got a plastic palette knife, but I normally use a metal one. It's just that I took my nice one home. So I'm just going to use this one. So we're going to do most of it in this color, which again was the terracotta, nope. Whoopsies. The brown granite. Oh, see. The brown granite's a little bit on the dry side. I used this a long time ago when I first got it, almost a year ago, and if I don't put the lid on tight, that's okay. I have a backup. Let me just open this one up real quick. Is that the right color? Yeah, same color. Oh, yes. That was a pretty one, right? I have some of those left over from last year, and wait to see the new ones. I can't say anything about it, but that's all I can say. Okay. So I've got some paste, and I've got it right on my palette knife. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have at all times one hand on the stencil so it doesn't move. You can also use repositioning spray adhesive. I don't use that, but you could. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just lay a little bit down of this brown. And then I'm going to go back and highlight some of the different areas with the other 2 colors. Yes, 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 yes. I posted it on my Pick and Boots page. There's this teaser, and it's really adorable. If you don't follow me on Pick and Boots, that's my page, my first page. That's where I do a lot of the furniture and stuff like that. This is more my crafty page. So follow me on both if you want. Sometimes I post the same thing, sometimes, but not all the time. Okay, so I've laid this down. You can see some of the gold still popping through in certain areas. That's because I want to use some of the other colors because brick obviously is not all the same. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of this one. And this is the terracotta. I'm going to use my same palette knife. It's okay that. And just going to take a little bit. Let me see. A little because I just want to put it in certain areas just to give it that. See that red on there? Because bricks have a red. They're red, they're brown, they're all different colors. So we're just going to mix to try to get some true brick color here. I need to be really careful with this edge. Notice I did take my hand off only because it's so stuck it's not going anywhere right now. All right. Now I'm just going back to make sure I have every little section of the stencil covered. I don't want any spaces left off or it'll look like my fireplace is falling apart. Okay. That was a transfer, yes. It was a transfer. Okay, so let me pick this up so you can see what it looks like. Hopefully I didn't go too far. Thanks, Cheryl. Ta-da! Look at that. So it's going to look even better when I do this. Watch this. Watch when I take this off. It's going to look like the opening of a fireplace. See that? I love it. Now we're going to do the top part. And you just simply, if there's extra, you just wipe it, cut it back with your little. Now, this is a little bit, it shouldn't really be gold in the background. What I'll probably do is I'll just take a thin paintbrush and paint maybe darker lines in, like True Brick. Though, then again, it might be cool if I leave it gold. We'll have to see. We'll do one thing at a time. What I do want to do is I want to do like where the chimney comes up. I do want to have, you know, the mantle. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I can always add a piece of wood, or I can take, you know, it would be kind of neat if I took one of these, the popsicle stick, and cut the edge off so it's not round, squared it off, or even leave it round and make it 3D. Thanks, Lisa. Isn't it cool? That's why I had to do Christmas in July-ish because I just had this idea. It just came to me earlier and I wanted to be able to show you guys. Oh, I have an important announcement. If you like stuff like this that I make, I'm going to be starting to do kits and they're going to be quarterly. So it's going to be one for fall, one for winter, one for spring, one for summer, and you're going to get stuff like this to make. And what it'll be is I'll show a project, and you can either make what I make, or you can make whatever it is you want to make with the stuff. But that's going to be happening soon. So if you follow me on Creative with Shannon on Facebook, it'll be announced there. I'll probably do it on YouTube too, but there'll be a welcome project, and then after that I'll start with the fall and the winter and etc. But this, how cool would it be to, in the winter packet, to get this stencil, maybe this paper, and one of these tags to create? I don't know. All right, so I'm just going over using the brown again. And now I'm going to go back and add some of the terracotta, the orangish color. I forgot to add some yellow on here, so I'm not going to do it on the top because I want it to make sure that it's, you know, uniform. I don't want to just throw some random yellow in. Ugh. I'm going to have to, this one's getting a little dry. Thank goodness I only need a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. So I'm just going to lightly put it there. And I'm just going to drag in certain places just to give it that red hue. Could I use paint? Absolutely. And just think, if I use this and keep this out on Christmas and I decide brick fireplaces are no longer in, I can just paint it white. All right, I'm just being silly. Let's take this off. Ta-da! So it looks like the chimney is going up. Now I can either continue the chimney right there, or I can just leave it, because maybe I'll put Santa Claus. That'd be fun. Okay, so it's a really good idea to wash your stencils as soon as possible. Of course, I forgot to bring a bucket, so I'm just going to spray it with my mister real quick. So I just want to keep it wet, so when I go to clean it, it'll be easy. I'll just stick it right on my little paper towel here. And we'll just let that sit there for a minute. Thanks, Shannon. Do you love it? All right. So we still have this Merry Christmas that we can put on there. I still need to put the little girl on there. But what's very important is I don't want to smudge this because this is wet and this will take a little while to dry. But I can still go ahead and put, I don't really want to put the girl where she's blocking the fireplace, but I can always put her, I don't have to put all around there in the puppy. I can just put part of around too. That's what's so nice about rice paper is you can pick and choose. Like I can, watch this. If I fold this in half, look, I'm still getting the effect of her sitting in front of the Christmas tree. The puppy is just so stinking cute. All right. What do you think? I'm going to cut off a little bit more around her hair. I don't want to see any part of that fireplace in her background, so I'm just tearing off a little bit. She's got a little bare feet. So if I stick it here, she's kind of in front of the fireplace, which is fine, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do. So let's get my decoupage medium back out. Again, it's just a pent art. I like the matte. And I'm just going to apply it to the paper so I don't have to smear and smudge all over my project right this second. Oop. All right, let's go ahead and there we go. So now it looks like she is just in front of the fireplace. But I just noticed, see this right here? I don't like that. It looks like a shadow. So while it's still wet and hasn't dried yet, this is the time to go back and tear off anything you might not want. So I'm just going to lift the whole thing up. Thank goodness it's rice paper, because if it was a napkin or paper, I would not be able to do that because I would definitely rip it. Okay, so I'm getting that black shadow off. I didn't realize it was going to leave such a big impression. Okay, now let's try that again. There we go. So much better. See? There might be a little there, but that's just a shadow. It's not bad at all. Ta-da! So now it looks like she's in front of the fireplace. Again, I would put a window. Ooh, that's a great idea. A window behind the tree. I'm sure I can find a decoupage paper or even like a little snip art, like one of these. Oh, I do have windows. Oh, I don't know if I have one handy here, but I did bring some windows back from, of course, where? Atlanta. But that'd be super cute here. There's like a little window. That'd be perfect there. I love that, Gloria. Love, love, love. That's why I like coming on here, because I always have the hardest time trying to pick what I'm going to do when I go live. When I'm working at home, it's easy. But when I have to come on here and do something, I'm like, oh no, that's going to be, nobody's going to like that. I give myself a really hard time. But I also like when I come on because you all give me fantastic ideas. All right, I'm just, putting the lids on them because I want to make sure I try to keep them covered, because make sure you close the lids tight, because you definitely don't want it to dry out like this one kind of did. I think though, it's not totally dried out. I think I'll be able to add a little bit of water and just stir it really good. I think that one's savable. So I'm still gonna put that lid back on and get my red on my red. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna have to blend the edge of the papers together right here. I guess I could have tore a little bit more off of the tree, but I can just take some color and paint the tree over it. I'm probably going to be adding a little bit of shimmer because I love shimmer. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do this. I'll probably paint, let's see, I'll probably do a metallic black. I really love the metallics. Let's see, I have this one here. So I can paint this. And this, anything I put on here right now, I can always change it, because sometimes you think it's going to be perfect, it's going to look pretty, and then you get it on, and you're like, yeah, no, that did not work. So then guess what? Just do it again. Do something else. Well, this is an awful paintbrush. Look at that. The bristles are coming apart. Garbage. Let's get a different one. Let's do this one. What do you think of the brick fireplace stencil? The brick stencil. It's not a fireplace. It's a brick stencil. It's pretty cool, right? The way that it was designed to make it look like real brick rather than just straight lines. Because I do have one of each, and I've used both of them, but I kind of tend to like the one that makes it look a little bit natural. All right, I'm trying to get rid of these lines. Sometimes when you use a little brush like this, not a wide one, you see the real skinny lines. So this fireplace is going to allow me to have a really big fire if I want. Now I can also, really, come in. I can also use, you know how some fireplaces have the little step-ups? Or like the little, I don't know what it's called. The little girth. What's in front? What's the front of the fireplace called? I can also build that up too if I wanted to. Just depends. I'm still going to have to figure out what I'm going to do here, but it's coming together. And real quick, I need to, since I need to wait for this to dry, and I need to put another layer of decoupage on here, I'm going to go ahead and think real quick of what I want to do, because what I don't want to do is put the wrong thing, even though I know I can change it. I'm doing this now so that way it can dry. So when I decide what I want to do, I am ready. This, I just want to give another pointer. When you do this stencil and a hearth, okay, thanks, Lila. I used it once on a snip art house. I put the brick down and then I put the decoupage paper over it, and it showed the texture. So it looked like the decoupage paper was actually part of the brick. It came out super cool. Let me, oh boy, my son is calling in. I'm thinking that this needs to be a different color behind the brick so it doesn't look like it's part of the wall. I want it to stand out a little bit, so I'm wondering if I should use black, gray. Let me just test it. Just because I'm testing doesn't mean it's going to be the real color. Let's just see with the black. Black might be too dark. And this will take all day, but yeah, the black might be good. And it's okay if I get some on the brick itself. Can use heat gun? Yes, I can. Does that mean Gloria wants to see it done? What do you think? Is that too much? Too much black? Whitewash. Ooh, that'd be pretty. I can still do that after I put this on. I can definitely use some whitewash over the brick, which would be kind of cool. What do they call that? Like German schmear or something like that? Actually, the iron or the stone paste is drying rather nicely. What do you think? Okay. Well, I might as well keep going. So does anybody have any questions or anything for me? Because I know it's not the most fun to watch me paint like this. But it's looking pretty good. I like it. Still have some more blending to do. Still need to tie everything together, but for right now, it's looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. Oops. I'm really torn on what I should do for the mantle. Yeah, but it was looking like an old rickety fireplace for sure. Depending on if I put anything up here, will depend on if I'll finish the stencil up just to make the edge so it doesn't look like the fireplace just stops in the middle of the house. There we go. Ta-da! Now I do have a mold that is a Santa, which would be kind of neat if I did a mold and have Santa at the top. That might be something that I can consider too. It's I'm really new to the mixed media, even though I've been creating forever. But some of these products are just so unique and so much fun that it can be almost overwhelming because you don't know what to choose between the molds, the paint, the textures, the crackles. There's just so much. Sometimes I'll work on something and then I'll be like, oh, shoot, I should have used this. I'm getting there. I'm just afraid if I go too fast or any faster, I'm going to totally get it all over my bricks. The only thing about this brick stencil, I really like it. I just wish it was a bigger one, like a bigger sheet. I'm gonna have to see if I can find one because if I want to do like a big project, it'd be cool to have a bigger one. All right. Okay. Wow. Very cool. What do you guys think? You like it so far? All right. Let's go. I'm gonna make sure I keep my stencil wet so that doesn't dry on it, so I don't ruin my stencil. The decoupage is still drying. This is still drying. I don't know if I want to commit to that yet. I like the idea of the window. So what I need to do is see if the window that I have will be a good fit. It might be too big, it might be too small, but I can always make a window too. Or I might find a window on a different piece of decoupage paper. So many options. So anyway, I guess you know what I think I'll probably stop here, and I'll probably come on tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, and it might even be at night. I don't know. If you follow me on Facebook, I'll definitely post it there. Or I might just come live, and you can always catch the replay. But I really like this project, and I'd love to finish it. I don't want to postpone it anymore, but I do really want to let it dry, and I want to figure out the window situation, or if I'm going to do the Santa, because I did buy myself one of those Santa molds. Um, so that would be kind of neat because it could be like Santa brought the little girl puppy. Anyway, so if you like these kind of projects, then you might want to consider joining. I'm going to start a subscription of craft boxes. They're going to be quarterly, so it's only 4 times a year. I'm also going to be doing some different classes too. I just love it so much, and I just want to um, share the fun with you all. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be a nominal fee. It'll just be supplies and shipping, but it'll be fun and we can all make stuff together. What is the drying time for stone paste? Well, it depends on how thick you put it on, what part of the country you live in, like the humidity and all that. If I could stick it on the sun, it'd probably be dry, within 10 minutes. Now, I was trying to read that even with my readers on, I can't read it. It's really, really small, but definitely, I would say probably I would say at least an hour. But like I said, again, if you put it outside, it'll dry really fast because I know, I don't know where you guys live, but where I am, it's hot. Okay, so anyway, I want to thank you for joining me, and I apologize about freezing. I'm gonna work on that, and I'm probably gonna upgrade my Wi-Fi. I really didn't have a problem though. Thanks, Cheryl. I really didn't have a problem though, just being live on YouTube. It was when I went to YouTube and Facebook, so it might just be Facebook. I don't know. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for joining me. As always, I appreciate it, and I always have fun, especially when you guys converse with me. Um, if you have any other ideas, comment. I guess you can comment on this video here on YouTube, yeah, or you can comment on my Facebook page, whatever. Creating with Shannon. Send me an email, direct message. I'm around.